From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. For decades, the filmmaker Warren Miller was synonymous with a very Colorado genre of filmmaking. In Warren Miller's films, skiers glide across pristine winter terrain and down steep slopes. Miller and his film crews captured those images in dozens of feature-length documentaries that celebrated the thrill of a day on the mountain, but also captured the poetry of skiing. And those movies became events in their own right, as you can hear in this ad for the premiere of his film Snow Riders from 1996.
Any snow rider knows that Warren Miller is much more than a movie. It's a party, a happening, a time to get psyched for the season ahead. It's where snow riders reunite to find some of the best snow on the planet before it falls.
Miller died in 2018, but his work and legacy are the subject of a new exhibit at the Colorado Snow Sports Museum in Vail. Jen Mason is the executive director at the museum. She talked with me in May about how Miller created those movies, and as Colorado marks 150 years of statehood this month, we're resharing a few fascinating pieces of the state's history. Today, we're listening back to my conversation with Jen about how Warren Miller defined an entire genre of sports film known as the stoke film.
He was really speaking to the skier, those people who were passionate about it. And he created this amazing genre accidentally of the stoke film just because he was so passionate about skiing himself and for the love of the outdoors and the mountains.
Now, Warren Miller started making ski films in the 1940s. How did he make those first films?
He was given a Bell and Howell camera. We believe that he had two of them. We have one on display. That's what's part of the exhibit here in the museum. And that's how he really started this whole process, of creating film. I think he was just so excited to share his passion for skiing and all the things that came along with it, just being outdoors in the mountains. And he was the first one living in a van. Nobody did that back then. So for 100 days, he lived in the parking lot in his van in Sun Valley, Idaho.
So you mentioned with the new Warren Miller exhibit that opened last month, one of the items on display is his camera. What is unusual about this camera?
Well, it's unusual because it's quite small. You can hold it in one hand, which means you're able to ski with it, which is so cool. And on the back of it, it has little reminders. It says make sure the shutter is open. So it's really cool because it's a 1948 camera. So you expect it to be massive, but it's actually quite small. You can hold it in one hand. So that means he could ski and ski in front of people, behind people, take it up on the mountain. It was compact.
That explains how he got some of that amazing footage, really.
Yes, it really does.
So you mentioned he would just kind of do everything in those early days.
Yeah, he did all of it. He shot it, he edited it, he did it from beginning to end. He was kind of a one-man show back in the day.
What made him want to dedicate his life to shooting these ski films?
I think he was so passionate about skiing. And again, it was a different lifestyle. Think about it. People had just come off of World War II. Before that, the country was, you went to work, you worked in a factory, you did all these things. The fact that people had leisure time was now something that was new in the world. And he came from California. He was a surfer. He sailed on the water. Skiing is kind of the same. It's all on H2O. It's all, just a different form of it. And I think he really just loved and became such a passionate skier that he wanted to share that with the world.
He produced more than 700 ski films. At least 45 of those were feature-length movies. And while they, of course, have this exciting footage of skiing or snowboarding, there are also storylines and themes that tie it all together. And I want to play a clip here from his film Winter People. And this describes some typical skiers working day jobs, but dreaming about getting away to the slopes. And this is Warren Miller himself narrating.
Most of the time, we wander around with a glassy, faraway look in our eyes. A faraway look of high mountains covered with untracked snow. Forced to live in the city, we scurry around on our lunch hour looking for someone who will share that 400-mile drive to the local ski resort.
Jen, talk about how those kinds of character building and narratives made his films distinctive.
Yeah, so Warren Miller wasn't only just a filmmaker, like he wasn't only just shooting people skiing and then putting it on film and then taking it around. He was truly a writer, a humorist. His writing is true poetry. He came up with all sorts of like funny phrases. One of his phrases, if you don't do it this year, you'll be 1 year older when you do. Like there was always these funny antics. And it really was a film of poetry and humor. And it was all about skiing. Like skiing is more than just a sport, it's a lifestyle. And he really took that and ran with that.
He also turned the film's opening into an event, especially in Colorado. You attended the premiere of at least one Warren Miller film when you were a child. What do you remember about that?
Well, it was different than just like going into a movie. There was all these like fun things in the lobby, and it had like skis were in the lobby or like the newest ski booths, and it was an event, not just like going to the movie where you grabbed a bag of popcorn and just sat down and watched the movie. You felt like you became part of the whole spectacle that was the Warren Miller film.
Wow. Now, he is, of course, a legend among the ski community in Colorado. How well known is Warren Miller to the rest of the world?
Oh my goodness. Like he went all over the country back in the day. He went up into Vermont every year, where all the resorts are there. He would go to Tahoe. He would go to the Pacific Northwest. He would go to California, like anywhere there were mountains and skiing. Like, so he really is like a U.S. treasure. Like he is truly the guy that everybody wanted to emulate and be like because he was living the dream.
Skiing is a lifestyle now, especially in Colorado. How do you think Warren Miller's films help define or capture that lifestyle in a way that had not been done before?
Well, his films really told the story of like the mountain lifestyle and the allure of being outside all day and being in the mountains and like, skiing and then après skiing and then all the funny characters that came with the ski community and showing you the new mountain towns. Like Warren Miller's very connected to Vail because Vail was kind of a later on resort. So he helped kind of create in 1962. He would come to Vail and we would have little segments in his films like in the 60s. So it really helped put Vail on the map as well.
Jen Mason with the Colorado Snow Sports Museum in Vail. We spoke earlier this year about the museum's new exhibit on filmmaker Warren Miller, which is open now. We'll have a link to learn more in our show notes and at KUNC.org. And a quick reminder that In The NoCo is hosting a live event later this month in Estes Park. I'll interview writer and entrepreneur Melissa Strong about her new memoir, Climbing Through, a powerful story of courage and resilience. You're invited to join us for this live episode taping Tuesday, August 25th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Park Theater in Estes Park. Find details and get tickets at KUNC.org on the events page. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Thanks so much for listening.